Well, good evening, and welcome to the show that, well, probably about 95% of you out there either want to throw a dart at my face or punch me in the face. This is the Sports Box, where the only opinion that matters is right here. I am the hated Mike Galetta, a.k.a. Hamilton Mike, along with he's back with Brian, the Ranger Retard. Brian, welcome back. Welcome to fatherhood.
Guess who's back? Back again. You know you couldn't get rid of me that long.
Yeah, we tried, but...
Yeah, it is what
the
it
show was plummeting without you. So anyway,
I heard the ratings weren't that great, so I had to make it.
It was awful. It was like I'll take a scene from Step Brothers. It was like licking white dog shit. So that's what it was. So, but anyway, folks, I'm sure you're happy. Brian's back, and I'm not solo or with anybody that you do like anymore. So let's get to the show, Brian. Why don't you kick it off? Who's our sponsor, and get back to normal?
Yeah, we are ready. Hey, DJ Mike Velarde, Mic'd Up Entertainment. Mike, I know you saw this. He's got a new gig. Mm-hmm. Starting after the Super Bowl, he's going to be at the Tilted Kilt in Sicklerville. I think every Monday nights, 9 o'clock.
That's a good show.
Going to have to DVR Raw, every week.
That's right.
He's also currently every Wednesday night in Sicklerville, Applebee's at 8:30. We'd love to see DJ Mike all over the place. I love to see that.
Yep. DJ is the man. So let's get to it. I guess we're going to talk a little bit about NFL. Kick it off a little bit first.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, first, I do want to mention, though, tomorrow you're definitely going to be watching because Brian and his buddy Anthony are going to be kicking it off.
Yes.
With a little bit of wrestling, pounding the pavement, pounding the ring. So you guys got to stay tuned for that. That should be very enjoyable.
Ringside Seat, the official wrestling show of the Sports Box, will kick off tomorrow night at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
If you guys are wrestling fans, me and Anthony go way back with that. I know it's not, I know it's not your forte, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. I hate basketball. It is what it is. We're doing it for you. You're going to see a lot more new content this year on the Sports Box. We're doing it for our fans out there, so we appreciate it. But we'll be on 8 o'clock tomorrow night. We have a lot to talk about too, because it's not good.
But the best part about tomorrow night is, Brian, I won't be there. So
not true.
You're gonna have ratings through the asshole. I mean, it's gonna be sick. You might have like 600 viewers watching. Anyway,
you know why I don't buy that? People hate Howard Stern, but they actually watch more.
Yeah, not in this town. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's talk a little NFL. You got to kick it off topic. Let's talk a little bit. Lot to talk about. Eagles on their way to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Patriots,
listen.
What a shock on the way to the Super Bowl.
Hey, I'm pretty sure from the get-go I said that it would be the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Well, I think everybody in there that had two eyes in their freaking head said that.
It's funny. I get a lot of crap. We're like, oh, what a ballsy prediction. I'm like, who cares? I'd rather be right.
To be the champ,
you gotta listen, and that's what's going to happen in Super Bowl 50.
You gotta be the champ.
53?
52.
What year we're in this year?
52. Yep.
But anyway, we'll talk a little bit about the conference championship games with Crazy Sunday. I got a chance to watch it and relax, even though I had a crying baby in the area. I still had a chance to watch pretty intently. AFC. Patriots once again. It was iffy there for a while though.
Yep.
It was iffy there for a while.
And most of the game, I was checking Facebook a little bit. People were complaining about some of the calls and this and that. Listen, I understand some people don't want the Patriots to go, especially in this town because of 2004, and I can understand that. In the same sense, though, there were some iffy calls in there. A lot of people have been talking to us about the Jax call where he pulled it out of his hands.
Yep.
He was, I think, when you pull it out of his hands, if you see, there is a part of him touching. So that's kind of hit or miss call if you're going to call him down by contact. But Jacksonville had their chances to win the game. Yeah, no,
I know James is a big fan of the show in Outside the Box. Guys, if you're not yet in Outside the Box, please join. It's a great discussion group. We've got 300 people strong. It's a lot of fun.
No, they're strong. They're strong. Yeah,
they love to attack us.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
so much fun.
Oh, God.
He said, why was that play called dead? Because really, he's still running. Yeah. If that play is allowed to go forward, Mike.
It's a bang-bang play. I mean, that's tough to really call that, to say that he didn't have the ball in his possession and there wasn't any part of his body touching him or on the ground. I mean, that's kind of, cutting corners there. Again, they had their chances, and Blake Bortles, to his credit, played okay. I mean, he
didn't lose him that game.
No, not at all.
And we had our concerns about that coming in. But, again, the Patriots, whatever it is,
I think it comes down to experience. At this point.
Yeah, they have their own version of Yankee mystique. They find a way.
Yeah.
And to not have Gronk.
That's
whole
huge.
Game.
Now see, and I'll bring that up to you because I think you want to talk about rules. I think they should change, and I don't know how you're going to rule it around, but you want to talk about a play like that where a guy gets a 15-yard penalty to take the number one receiver out for the Patriots. That's a great move. As crappy
as like a trade-off.
Right, as a trade-off, as crappy as that sounds, 15-yard penalty, okay, you deal with it. Now Gronk's out for the game. That gives your team an extra chance. So why not make it that if that happens and he goes out of the game and a concussion is found, on him or he's out for the game, that player is ejected. I mean, that's one of the things you could say. But there's got to be something in there where, like that doesn't happen. You want to stop spearing or you want to stop the head hits because it's all in the secondary. These guys are out for taking somebody's head off. That's all basically it comes down to. They're not trying to take the ball away from anybody. They're trying to take somebody's head off.
I hear what you're saying. And it was a hit to the head.
Oh, absolutely. If anybody else thinks it's a hit to the head, you're crazy because it was. Absolutely.
And really, the way the Pats run their offense, he is the primary target.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that you have Brandon Cooks and you have Amendola and all that.
And I can't say he necessarily went after him purposely. Okay? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know that. But the way it looked,
you can't know.
You can't know. But there's got to be something in effect. You got to penalize the guy for that a little bit more than 15-yard penalty. I think it's dumb to me.
It's kind of like eye for an eye, I guess.
Well, what do you do? Can you do it like college, like targeting? Can you do it like that?
Well, they keep changing. I mean, again, they keep changing the rules. It seems like.
Yeah. But they also want to protect the players.
That's right, and that's their primary thing. And
Correct.
again, Gronk's a very marketable guy. And, everyone wants to say, the Patriots get the advantage, and so far, a lot of people are talking about the pass interference calls that they got late in that game that kind of kept them in the game. I got to tell you something. If I'm Tom Brady and I know that if I can get the ball to around this area and I'm going up against a corner who I know is going to play it a certain way,
why not?
I'll go for the pass interference.
Why not? And a lot of quarterbacks do it. And not just Brady. A lot of quarterbacks do it. On that play, you're talking about Brandon Cooks.
Yes.
The defensive back, I think, was in good coverage. He was neck and neck with him down. Where it was, I think the penalty lies is that he didn't turn around. He just kind of turned when Brandon Cooks kind of went for the ball. But he got pushed, and that was the whole interference call. I think it was a good call. People want to cut corners because you don't like the Patriots. I understand that, but in the same sense, it was a good call. I think
everybody wants to feud in the. Everybody wants a reason to have a conspiracy.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly. Because they're tired of the Patriots going all the time. I mean, do you envy a great team?
Everybody's jealous of New England.
I mean, how many times have they've been in this point?
They are the Yankees of the NFL. And listen, as a Yankee fan, I understand people don't like the Yankees because they win all the time. And I understand that. From a Jacksonville standpoint, they've exceeded all expectations.
Oh, and we said that we've been on that train for a while. That drive, me and you and Princeton.
And I'm a big proponent of it matters if you win at the end. By no stretch can I say that this was a bad year or a less than good year for the Giants.
I think experience finally caught up to them.
Yeah.
Their playoff. I mean, they haven't been in the playoffs since '99. I mean,
it's a young team,
and it's a young team. The whole team. The only person I think was there was Mercedes Lewis. And other than that, these are a whole different cast of characters. But now they build on this. Now you win a division easily next year. You go into the playoffs as maybe a number 2 seed, and maybe, just maybe, if they had that quarterback, which we've been talking about,
I was going to ask you about that.
You could compete with the Patriots.
So Bortles held his own. He didn't lose him that game. Okay?
No, absolutely not.
You look at where he's been as a player through the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Buffalo game was a disaster.
Oh.
And then the Pittsburgh game, they went at the jugular hard.
Which they had to. They knew they had to, yeah.
In this game, Fournette, nice game, 76 and a touchdown. Hearns had 80 yards. Bortles threw a touchdown. He had more yards than Brady did.
Well, again, they surrendered a 10-point lead in the second half.
They did.
I mean,
but that's the Patriots.
And that's the Patriots. I was just going to say.
So you kind of have
do you remember the Super Bowl?
I do.
Where it was 28? We're not going to go through that.
I do.
But this is what the Patriots do. They come back and they sting you. They come back and sting you.
It was impressive to me, the fact, like I said, Gronk is such a big part of their offense. So for him to not be on the field from pretty early on, I mean, he missed most of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I don't know. For me, it's Brady being Brady.
Well, and just what you said, we're just talking about how he's the number 1 receiver. They did it without him. I mean, how many more people can tell me that Brady is not the best quarterback of all time? He is not only the best quarterback we've seen in our generation. I think he's passed, obviously, Joe Namath, Joe Montana, Joe Montana. I think he's passed. What more does this guy have to do? Does he have to win another ring? He's got, what, 6?
This would be 6.
This would be 6. He's got multiple MVPs.
I think it'd be 6.
Actually, I think it might be 7.
The fact that we're losing counts pretty.
I mean,
pretty
yeah.
bad,
I mean, I think it's going to be 7. But he's got a ton of rings. He's got multiple MVPs. The guy's 42 years old, and he's still doing it.
40, yeah.
I mean, 40. He's still doing it. I mean, I don't know what more you need from this guy. But
they did what they had to do. They won the game.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was iffy there for a while. It wasn't as if they dominated the Jacksonville team.
No.
They did put 24 against their defense.
They struggled in the beginning.
But penalties. penalties. And everyone's going to say, oh, look, the Patriots getting off with penalties.
But that's experience. That's playoff experience, not making mistakes down the stretch, especially against a team like the Patriots. You can't make mistakes. Didn't we say the only way Jacksonville wins this game is they have to play a perfect game?
Yep.
Perfect game they have to. They have to play defense. They did all that up until the second half. And they slowed down, which a normal young team would do. So, I mean, listen, hats off to Jacksonville.
So I mean, that game kind of played out somewhat as expected.
Yeah.
In the NFC, that was a surprise.
That was a mind twister. That was unbelievable.
That was a surprise. The Eagles find their way out of the NFC into the Super Bowl, 38-7, and they put a waxing on that Minnesota.
And you know what? I did take the Vikings in this game because I just thought they would come out, and I gave you a good reason. I said that they were going to be, if they won this game, they know they're going to be home for the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
the first ever. They played good up until this point. Case Keenum's played well. This defense is number one and the Eagles
didn't matter.
And after that first drive, they just took them apart.
I've said this on social media a lot since the game. If you watch the show, you follow me on social media, whatever, I've been very critical of Doug Peterson, his coaching ability all year. Yeah. I've said it many times. I wasn't sure what he was doing. I harkened back to that Giants game in Week 3, with that 4th and whatever from midfield. I'm like, I'm not sure what this guy's doing, but masterful job. Highest marks. They were a step ahead of everything the Vikings were doing the entire game, and it didn't start out that way. You remember? I mean, the first touchdown to Rudolph. I mean, this thing looked like it was going to be in there.
They went right down the field and them right away, and you're thinking, "Uh-oh, here we go. The Vikings are going to play offense."
As soon as they got that interception, Patrick Robinson, who ran it back for a touchdown, the first one of Minnesota let all year, a turnover for a touchdown. It just seemed like Minnesota lost whatever that they had.
Stabbed them right in the heart.
And
it almost was like, here comes the Eagles, and we can't play with them. It was crazy. And Foles had a great game plan.
He had a great game.
Of dinking and dunking, like we said, down the field. He only took a couple shots downfield. When he did, he connected.
Well, you know what it was? And I go back to where we previewed the playoffs for the Vikings. And we said, they would be kind of susceptible to a team like the Eagles that likes going their offense between the hash marks. They like going to Aguilar. They like going to Ertz. Ertz caught every damn ball that was thrown in his direction, and we said that was going to be a problem for Minnesota because their strength was their secondary.
Jeffrey got some good catches.
Jeffrey, the long touchdown, the great play that Foles made, where he was kind of a little Wentz-ish and staying upright with all this kind of traffic, and he found Jeffrey downfield. That was against Terrence Newman. Well, the aging Terrence.
Yeah, they got a nice mix of running backs right now that they're using. Ajay and they're mixing it up a little bit, and they set up the pass. So that's what they're going to have to do against the Patriots.
A lot of options.
Yeah, I mean, with the Patriots, I mean, that defense is susceptible because they haven't been as stout as everybody thinks they are, but they've been playing better in the second half. If you've noticed in the first half, the Patriots, they're a little bit lopsided. They try to feel you out. But in the second half, here they come. That's what you got to get ready for. They're a kind of team, if you have them on the ropes, you step on their neck. You can't let them back. And Jacksonville saw that. Yeah. You can't say, we're a great defense. We're going to. No, you got to put the Patriots away. You got to put them away.
But again, Nick Foles, I like anybody to tell me that they thought he put up 352 and 3 touchdowns.
I would have never said that. I would have never said that.
Brian Hess, many thought they would come out running, and Doug called mostly pass plays. Brian,
it was a good mix.
We talked about this together.
Yeah.
I can't give Doug Peterson enough credit, and listen, I've been critical. I have.
You know what? He took it out of, and let me say this too, like taking it out of Foles' hands. You don't expect a guy to be, Rodgers or Drew Brees or anything. Let him do what he can do. And that's what he did. He let him run the ball well. He threw those nice over the middle passes to Aguilar when he can get to him. Like you said, to Ertz, he caught him a lot. Jeffries, he caught him deep. He didn't make him go outside his means and make him make a play because that's what Nick Foles isn't about. He's about doing what is comfortable for him. And it worked. So if they do the same thing again this week, you know what?
Again, it's Doug Peterson was a step and a half ahead of Mike Zimmer the entire way. Everything Minnesota tried to do, and really, for a while there, it looked like Minnesota had no idea what to do offensively. It was just, screen passes to McKinnon. They had nothing going. A lot of, the feel and the digs, everything that made them so successful offensively this year, they flushed it.
Because they pushed Keenum out of the pocket. They had him moving around, and he's not a good move around quarterback. No. If you saw him during the year, I think there was a stat that he is such a percentage when he starts moving around in the pocket. Yeah. And he was awful. But like we said, they don't win their games offensively.
No, they win on defense. They rely on that defense.
On turning over the ball in certain areas of the field and gets them in the end zone.
They were they were guessing. They had no clue.
Yep.
That's why I said Peterson did a masterful job in this game, because a defense of that caliber that played that well all year got obliterated. And got obliterated by Nick Foles.
Yeah.
So call it what it is, okay? We're not talking about Carson Wentz here.
No.
So
you can only imagine with Carson Wentz in there. I mean,
hey, listen, like I said, full marks to the coaching staff. Just a really, really good job by them, and they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We'll talk about picks and stuff. Probably not today.
No.
We'll let that simmer for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was just a really interesting. It was an interesting weekend of football.
I will say you definitely want to watch our predictions on that, because that's going to be a very interesting game. I think it's kind of the tale of two evils there. You got the Eagles coming in with a lot of momentum, a lot of power, a lot of this, like you said, game planning and all. But you also are giving Belichick 2 weeks to prepare for this team. So I mean, that's going to be an adventure in itself. It's going to be a good game, I think. It really is going to be a good game.
And for Minnesota, I mean, you don't think Keenum's there next year? I don't think Keenum's there next year. I think
actually they have three quarterbacks.
They're going back to Bridgewater, I would guess.
I don't even know if they're going back to Bridgewater. You never know.
It's not Sleeves.
No, it's not Sleeves. It's Sleeves. Well, Sleeves, Keenum, and Bridgewater are all up. They got that one guy, Stour. Nah. He's not going to stay. He'll stay. Teddy. You would think.
I know Nick Nazario's not watching, but I think it's going to be Teddy. I do.
Yeah.
Just breaking news on the sports block: Brad Marchand suspended 5 games.
I saw that. That's kind of a screw job. I mean, I know March.
I saw the hit.
But I know Marchman's kind of a hated guy in the league already. He's having a good year, but you don't give him 5 games.
That's a lot. I think it's like accumulation because he's been that.
Yeah, but you give him 2. But see, it shouldn't add up for him. I mean, that's to me, the NHL likes to do that a lot. The hater move. And I think you give him 2.
Now, the one thing I will say that's probably, I mean, it's not really being talked about right now, but for the Eagles longer term, is the fact that they've been able to make this run. You don't hear a lot of their coaching staff being picked for other roles elsewhere. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the
Jim Schwartz was, but then you don't hear about him anymore.
The Patriots, and we'll get to it. I think they might be losing both their guys.
Patricia, yeah.
Right, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But you haven't really heard a lot of Eagle coaches being considered for other jobs. So. And that may be because teams don't want to wait. Because if you look at, basically, you've already seen some hirings. Let's talk about a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Pat Shurmur, already out of Minnesota.
That's unbelievable. He signed with the Giants. That they signed him. I mean, with Spagnuolo there, who interviewed for the job, how do you not give him a shot? I don't know. I don't understand that move at all.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting because
I know he's got the experience. I mean,
he's an offensive guy.
Right.
Philly knows him. He was here with Bradford. Yeah, I don't think I would have gone that direction.
I don't think I would have either.
He doesn't strike me as like a strong locker room guy, like the presence that like you walk into. It's like I don't know the words escaping me right now, but he just doesn't seem like a guy that's going to do well in New York.
I mean, you're looking at. I don't want to talk about a total rebuild in New York. But you're going to have some time to get this team back on track. It's not going to be an instant success here. So is Pat Shurmur the guy that's going to be there for 2 to 3 years to 4 years to get this back on track? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think that's like you said, I think it's a weird move to do that.
It is interesting. Guys, if you're in the chat room there, definitely want to interact with you guys. Have questions, have thoughts, definitely share them in here. I want to talk with everybody. It'd be great if you share the show. We really appreciate that as well.
Yep.
Pat Shurmur to the Giants replaces Ben McAdoo. Who was not very well liked on the way out.
Who ruined Eli Manning's career.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Houston Texans. Defensive coordinator Mike Vrabel goes to Tennessee.
I did see that. Good for Vrabel. He deserves it.
I believe he does as well. But did you think Tennessee would go defense? See, I kind of thought they needed a guy,
an offensive guy.
I never liked Malarkey. I didn't think it was a good fit. The fact they made the playoffs was a miracle.
It is funny that they went to the playoffs and they got fired. But in the same sense, you kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have went either way there. Defense wins you Super Bowls. And Vrabel's a great defensive guy.
Joe Gonzalez, are you shocked Haley settled for an offensive coordinator job? You know,
No.
Not really. It's funny, he was vilified in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And really.
And I think he knew his time was up there.
And I haven't been here in a couple of weeks. I got to tell you something. Going back to that Pittsburgh-Jacksonville game.
You haven't been here?
I have not.
Oh, damn.
Going back to that Pittsburgh-Jacksonville game.
That's why our ratings sucked ass. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What a horribly coached game by Mike Tomlin.
Oh, terrible.
Mistake after mistake. And they blame Todd Haley.
And he keeps getting a pass.
But they blame Todd Haley.
Oh, that's what I mean. He keeps getting a pass. It's just kind of like almost Brent Brown sometimes when they do stuff that you see it's coaching, and they say, oh, it's not Brent's fault. Well, this was Tomlin's fault. Again, he blew it. It was terrible coaching.
Haley, I'm pretty sure, went to Cleveland. That's
He did go to Cleveland, yeah.
It's not exactly like a high-profile
Well, but I think it's kind of a good fit, and I'll say this, because not too far away from where he's from, Pittsburgh, he got good money to go there, and he could stick it up Pittsburgh's ass.
And Joe makes a good point, which is true. He had a top offense for years. He did. I mean, if you look at the statistics from when he was there to when he wasn't, really, really good numbers. Yeah. And I'll give him the credit for that. But
and I'm interested to see how Pittsburgh's going to do this year without him.
Well,
that's going to be interesting.
Ben, Ben, you never know if he's going to be in, he's going to be out. He sounds like he's going to play again next year.
Yep.
This whole thing with Le'Veon Bell is a problem.
If they're gonna franchise him again, I mean, it's ridiculous.
He's going to retire. And listen, whatever. What do you, bro? I mean, that's what you want to do. That's fine. Carolina Panthers D coordinator Steve Wilks goes to Arizona. Again, Arizona, a defensive guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't.
Listen, defense, you win Super Bowls. I mean, that's where this league's going now. I mean, yeah, it was a throw pass league, but you also want to have a solid defense. So I guess you figure let's solid up the defense now and then build everything later. Worry about the offense later. If you have a good solid defense, you have to worry about offense.
John Miller wants to make parade plans. I'm not sure if you have to fly to Boston or not. I guess we'll talk about that soon, though. Joe Gonzalez, Josh Gordon's next Antonio Brown. A lot of talent. And I'm not. And I'll be honest with you, Joe. I don't know Gordon's contract status, but
I'm going to tell you one thing why he's not, and it's a shame to say that.
What?
It's because Cleveland can't stay with a freaking quarterback.
Well, yeah.
More than 2
they
years.
will. No, but you know what? We'll get into draft in a couple of weeks.
They got to stay with Deshaun Kaiser.
Listen.
They have to.
No.
They're going to draft again?
Absolutely.
Oh, my God.
I'm on record right now. We're going to get the draft coverage.
Oh,
the
my God.
number one pick in the draft for the Browns is going to be a quarterback. Mark it down.
Rosen
guaranteed.
From UCLA.
I think it's Josh Allen.
I think Josh Allen's a great quarterback. I think from what I've seen on the reports, though, I see him going third quarterback out of the chute. We'll get into that.
We're going to go into really, really in-depth.
I might flip tables on that.
For sure. You?
Yeah, I might.
It's funny. I was going to make a bit of a joke, and I forgot. I said, taking care...
That's surprising you.
Taking care of my son, Braden, who likes to cry a lot and scream, has given me a new perspective on how to deal with you.
Wow. See, that's effed up here. Anyway.
Love you, buddy.
Yeah. It was so nice when he was... No, but
stop it.
Go ahead.
Everybody missed me. Don't even.
I agree. Nobody likes
there is a ton of QBs out there this offseason. Yeah, Joe, that's going to be probably a storyline in the offseason because you got a lot of teams.
We said 3 out of the chute.
Oh yeah, Jacksonville, Denver, the Giants potentially, Washington. You never know who's going to go there.
Mark it down. I think Cousins has got a great fit for Jacksonville. If Cousins goes to Jacksonville,
now I
might buy a freaking jersey to say Cousins.
I don't know the Jacksonville cap situation. Again, we weren't really prepared to talk about that.
You make room for him.
I'll tell you what, if they have the money,
I think he's the best free agent out there.
They gotta blow somebody away to go there.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's a desirable spot for the first time in a long time. Joe Gonzalez, don't waste first pick on quarterback.
Well,
I hear you, Joe. Listen, here's why they're going to do that. And we're getting off topic, and that's okay. We want to do what you guys want to do.
We're freewheeling. We're fine.
They have gotten lamb-basted for years about not taking the right quarterback. The Carson Wentz. They had every chance to go take Carson Wentz, and great for Carson Wentz. He wasn't picked by Cleveland because they made a trade down. They cannot get it right.
But see, I don't go with the whole Carson Wentz thing. He's good because
Brian Hess have a ton of cap space. There you go.
There you go.
It's a prime spot.
So I think you can't say Carson Wentz wouldn't have been good or would not have been good with Cleveland. I think he would have went there. Maybe he was a product of the system. Maybe he fell in the lap.
I don't know if Joe Montana would have been good in Cleveland. It's a cursed series.
Well, like I said, their problem is they want a quarterback to come in there and they draft him high. They want him to be the savior of all saviors and do what he can. I don't know if Carson Wentz could have been that guy. So this team does not know when to stay with a quarterback. They got to draft the quarterback. Say, you know what? We like this guy. Give him the key to the city and let them roll with it.
Joe Gonzalez, change topics. Who wins the female Royal Rumble?
Well,
we're going to talk about that tomorrow night. The
right,
debut
Joe.
episode of Ringside Seat, me and Aunt Morella, 8 o'clock. Don't miss it. We will go
Thanks,
in
Joe.
depth.
Get them all over the place. Very nice. Thanks.
I cannot wait to talk about
Get
wrestling.
them all lathered up over here. We're sponsored by Irish Spring soon because you'll all be lathered up. So anyway, but yeah, I don't even know what the hell we're. Oh, draft.
Well,
but the Cleveland's
a little ahead of it.
Yeah,
right.
Cleveland's problem is they can't stay with a quarterback. If they, I hate to say it, but if they stay with Deshaun Kaiser 2 or 3 years to see what this kid actually is made of, and then maybe get another quarterback, maybe a different story. They're going to bail on him. Oh, they're going to bail on him.
They're not.
I agree.
Won't let this happen
They
again.
got no team around him, but they're going to bail on the kid, and they drafted him.
And then this is a little late, but Kansas City Chiefs picking up. They let Matt Nagy go to the Bears. Great fit.
Big deal.
No, it's a good fit.
I
It's
know.
a real good fit. Listen,
How did he do in that playoff game?
that's fine. Listen.
But I'm just saying, they did a shitty playoff game in the second half, and the guy got a job the next day.
More power to him, okay? Mm-hmm. I think that is the best thing to happen for the future career of Mitchell Trubisky, because I like what listen, I don't think Alex Smith is very good, okay? But what they've been able to do in Kansas City, pretty impressive. I mean, I know that they keep choking in the playoffs, and I totally understand that.
How many series average have you changed over on those 3?
Bet the under on that, but we'll talk about that.
Really?
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Shit, I was over the first day.
I will say this. We're getting off topic here.
Yeah.
For all you dads out there that have had little boys, I didn't even know Shana was watching. All you dads that had little boys, here's what I'm going to tell you. When you see your son and the circumcision.
You don't want to go off topic, but we're going to talk about this.
But if you don't get a twinge somewhere in your body, which should be pretty evident, I don't know what to tell you. Scares the hell out of me.
Number one, I didn't see it, so I didn't want to. He took him away, came back, he was good as
No. I'm saying the aftermath.
Oh, well.
Because he's crying because, hey, his penis hurts.
Oh, yeah.
And I
But
get it.
But he's young enough, he's not going to remember, he's not going to feel anymore, so.
Yeah, but he knows it right now.
Yeah.
It hurts right now.
That's
So
right. He's good.
That is the under. Ask me in 2 weeks. We'll talk
Again,
about that.
you don't want to go off topic if you went into the circumcision of your son.
The people want to know.
Shannon, this is great. This is great topics over here. You got to watch it every week.
We are a viewer-driven enterprise.
I don't think anybody was asking about circumcision, but I could have missed it.
I have to give the rationale.
This thing could be flown right past me. I might have missed it. I don't know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So coaches. Back to
ahead.
coaches. So again, we touched on this a little briefly.
Yep.
There's rumors. McDaniels to Indianapolis from New England,
and I
Matt
heard
Patricia to Detroit. What's your call there?
These guys have been coordinators for a very long time. They do it right. McDaniels has been a coach before. Kind of like Mike Schuler. Mike Schuler was a coach in Cincinnati a long time ago. Once upon a time, wasn't a good coach. Great coordinator. You got to think these guys have been coordinators so long. They've been doing their job and they do it good. McDaniels, number one, is big coach before. Can he do it again? I don't know. I think Patricia deserves a shot. I think he's got enough credibility with this team to go to maybe be a coach.
I only watched when the fill-ins were there. Sadly, I have to get back to my sports. Thanks, Shane. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Shane.
What was I going to say? Sorry, after my train of thought. So
Patricia and McDaniels.
McDaniels, right?
Yeah. No, McDonald's.
No, McDaniels.
Yeah.
I'd like some McDonald's. I'm kind of hungry, but McDaniels. So the thing about that is he's going to a place in Indianapolis where you kind of have to assume that Andrew Luck's coming back. Right?
Yes.
And I think that that's one of the main reasons that's A, an attractive job, and B, McDaniels loves him. I would not want to hire McDaniels for a spot where he had to draft a quarterback because that guy spent a first-round pick on Tim Tebow.
Well, but if you're going to give him a head coaching job, you got to give him some kind of.
No, but what I'm saying is he can't screw that up. It's not as if he's going to Jacksonville or to Denver or to a quarterback needy team where he may be the one responsible for deciding that we're going to draft this guy in the first round.
Yeah.
Let's say he's the head coach of Cleveland, for example. I guarantee there would be people talking for weeks into it. How are they going to screw it up because McDaniels picked Tebow?
Yeah.
So, it's questionable judgment. But I will say this. I think it's a great fit for their offense. I think Indianapolis is an enviable spot because they're going to be a much better team next year just by dropping Luck in. Luck was 11-5 3 straight years with no supporting cast. Like none.
On and off topic, Tebow got invited to Mets camp, which is an absolute freaking joke, by the way.
Awesome.
We will talk about that at some point.
Tim Tebow.
I will go off on that because I'm not a big Tim Tebow.
I know Lee Thompson's not watching. Lee Thompson's a big Tebow fan.
He's a great guy, not a football player. The only football player he is a tight end. He's not a quarterback.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead. Sorry.
So Patricia with the Lions. Now the Lions are interesting to me. I actually don't know this. Caldwell, is he an offensive or defensive guy?
Believe he's a defensive guy.
So they're going defense.
Defense.
The thing about Patricia is, I don't know. I've always felt that Belichick is the Patriots' biggest defensive weapon, and I've said that a bunch of times. So I don't know how much Patricia really had to do with what it was that they are doing. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like Peterson last year coming out of Kansas City, because like if Andy Reid was calling the plays, what were you doing?
His defense has been okay. They haven't been lights out. In some years they have been when they've won Super Bowls, but this year they've been mediocre for most of the season, and they've picked it up near the end of the season. But yeah, I see where you're coming from with the success of the Patriots. It's not really on Patricia's shoulders that they're winning.
I don't think.
But I think in this day and age with all the assistant coaches that are getting jobs, if you're going to go by that, Patricia needs to get a chance. His time is here. I think it's his time. Whether he fails or not, I don't know. In the city of Detroit, where they're paying their quarterback all this money, has done nothing.
More baby talk. Little
See who you started?
Thanks, Brandy. Little poopy emoji.
But but I mean, in this day and age, going to Detroit, you're paying a quarterback all this money. He's probably number one in the league, and he hasn't done anything. So where do you start? I mean, do you? I think you start on the offensive side of the ball and maybe get them a little bit more offense. But of course, they need some defense there.
Well, they need a running game.
They need a healthy running game. They have a running game. They're just not healthy.
What running game? What do they have?
Abdullah's not bad. He's okay.
Yeah, he's a change of. I mean,
but he's never healthy. Both of those guys. Riddick's never healthy either. They're both hurt. They're good running backs when they're in.
Joe Gonzalez dropping the John Cena. His time is up. Patricia time is now.
Listen, Joe.
Wrestling's tomorrow.
All right, there's no wrestling now. Okay, we agree to this. There's no wrestling now. Joe knocked shit off. All right, stop getting him all lathered up over here. He might try to freaking sit on my lap in a minute. He's all juiced up now.
What
Stop.
the hell are you talking about? Stop it.
You're lathered up. Over
I can't wait to get blocked. Joe, we'll never block you, buddy. We love you.
I can't wait to get blocked. You're not going to get blocked, Joe. Knock it off.
So I mean, as far as the coaching hirings that you've seen so far, just thoughts.
I think you might think I'm crazy, but I think the Gruden one's a joke.
I
think it's terrible because and this is the Raiders thinking. I thought it was going to die with Al Davis. Obviously, his son's keeping it alive. You want some flash when you're going to Las Vegas. That's great and all, but you got to look at the big picture with John Gruden. He did go to a Tampa Bay team where Tony Dungy set that team up for him. I mean, me or you probably could coach that team. He won for a year or two there, and then all of a sudden, the next 2 or 3 years, he couldn't keep the winning going. He got fired in 2007. So why would you bring this guy back after 11 years and give him a 10-year deal thinking that, oh, man, he's going to revive this franchise?
Well, it's funny we mentioned the Raiders. I've been getting a lot of flack on social media, which is, that's not new to me. I'm used to it. About the fact that I had said pretty much that there was no chance the Eagles would go to the Super Bowl after Carson Wentz got hurt.
Yeah, I forgot I said that too.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I'll admit it.
But you think back to the Raiders last year, and we all said that, and nobody seemed to mind because everyone's like, "Oh my God, they just lost Derek Carr.
Yeah,
they're probably gonna not go to the Super Bowl or have a shot at it," and they didn't. I guess my point is that it's funny how, depending on which team you talk about, what's a controversial hot take and what's not. I don't know. It's whatever. I didn't think it was that controversial to say that the chances of winning are minimized, losing what I was told was the MVP candidate at the quarterback position magically playing for that team.
Wow, that's a big loss.
Huge loss. But I give him full credit. Like I said,
but again, I don't think Gruden's the answer. You gave him all this money. You gave him a 10-year deal to come here. I mean, look at poor Jack Del Rio.
Yeah.
He got a 4-year deal at the beginning of this year. Gets a big handshake saying, "Yeah, you're going to do good."
Does he get that money?
Yeah, I think he does. Or there's a buyout clause that they
straight cash, homie.
Yeah,
it's all about that.
Straight.
It's all about that dollar bill.
Anyway, Caldwell, I couldn't believe he got an extension to be number one, and then to get fired. These guys get extensions like mid-season, and then all of a sudden they get fired at the end of the year. I mean, what kind of contract is that?
The coaches get excited.
That's awful.
Speaking the teams that
Not those Flyers.
8-1
in the last 9.
Have at it, brother. Listen, floor's yours. Go ahead.
They're playing well. I mean, look, are they a Super Bowl Stanley Cup contender? No, but they're playing well. They've gotten themselves out of the cellar. They've got a little bit of momentum, moving up the charts a little bit. Hey, I'm excited. Got the Flyers shirt on. I'm excited. Is it going to stay like this? I don't know. Last year they won 10 in a row. They went to the toilet. So, we'll see. Who knows with this? I'm just excited that they're winning.
Listen, to their credit, they're playing good hockey right now.
Yep.
8-2 in their last 10 games.
Yep.
They've been hot. They've taken advantage of a couple of teams in front of them falling back. The Rangers 3, and we're talking about them, and trust me, we're going to talk about them. They're 3-7 in their last 10 games. Yep. They look terrible. Yep. Columbus is 4-6. Columbus is dealing with an issue with Brandon Dubinsky now, sent home from Vegas for some sort of personal issue.
Yep.
There were rumors, and nothing was ever substantiated, though back when he was with the Rangers in a down season, that he had a drug problem.
Just want to step back a little. Brian Hess, Nick Foles, Connor Cook.
Yeah, sure.
Michigan State.
Yeah, I'll buy that, but I mean, Hess, you and I, and we'll talk. You and I have talked about this in great detail. Mm-hmm. I was being told many times by many people on this show, on social media, in person, carrier pigeons, phone calls, text messages, that Carson Wentz is the MVP of the league. Mm-hmm. Okay? So we'll go with that. Mm-hmm. Let's go with that as a topic.
Flyers,
Randy is a Flyers fan. So logically, okay, and I am a logical person. I do not tend to make my analyses based on my fandom, because then your analysis is tainted and wrong.
You're a logical person.
I'm an extremely logical person. What I'm saying is, using logic, and I've spoken about this at length with people who agree with me, it is not controversial to say you have a team that lost the quarterback, most important position in the field,
yep,
MVP candidate,
yep,
and you're dropping down to the backup. I don't care who the backup is.
Yep.
It's still a backup.
Oh, yeah.
That chances of winning would be reduced,
yep,
with that guy not on the field.
Absolutely. We said the same thing. They were in trouble with Nick Foles.
I got to tell you, listen, and we'll talk about the Super Bowl. If they go in and win the Super Bowl...
Oh.
No, hold on.
It's going to be a story behind a story.
It's from like the... It's a Disney movie.
You talk about an atom blowing up.
They will...
So like the planet. I mean, it is a Disney movie. You're right. It is. That's a movie.
And Hess was on the show. He said, and for the poker guys, Foles is 5'6" suited. Cook was 7'3" offsuit, because you can win with the guy. Yeah. But again, I just find it hard to rationalize that you're going to tell me that a guy is the MVP of the league, they're going to lose him at that position, and they're still going to find a way to win a championship.
Nobody thought
because if that was the case, then the rest of the team must be the best team in the league by a country mile.
And I don't understand that people think that, oh yeah, Nick Foles is just going to step in there and do the same thing Carson Wentz was, because he wasn't. He wasn't.
Listen, I give a lot of the credit there again to Peterson. Who's coached a great game. I know we're getting off topic here, but he coached a great game against Minnesota. Yep. I can give him enough credit because, well done. Well done. He's in the Super Bowl. Yeah, they ain't going to be there for a while. They suck. They are god-awful. So we'll talk about them in the draft. Where
NHL. Let's get
NHL.
Back to that
So you said the Flyers. So again, the Flyers
rolling right along. I mean, they're playing well right now. They got some, guys.
Here's my thing on the Flyers, and I'm a broken record with this. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I just don't feel that this team right now is really going to find a way to win a playoff series. And I know that right now I think they play New Jersey. They could win that series. But it's just not... I don't think... I think you gain more for a team like that to get better picks. And I go back to the Nolan Patrick pick of last year. So the Flyers just missed the playoffs last year. Daniel's a good point. Flyers breaking up lines helped them. Moving Giroux to wing has really been...
Oh, absolutely. They had to move some stuff around.
It's been a great move. Even Couturier. But the problem for me is I don't look at this team as they're currently made up, and that they should be a buyer at the deadline, that they should, add to this team. They should go for... Because they're still very young, and they're not there yet. So I don't necessarily know that, again... making the playoffs, like I harken back. Remember when they played Washington in 6 games?
Yep.
And they got pretty much embarrassed for most of it. They just did. There was the thing with the throwing of the wristbands. Whatever.
Yep.
They lost a second round pick from that. So long term future of the team, I think, is better not making the playoffs. I know Anthony Morello agrees with me. We talked about that, but they're playing hot right now. We'll see if they can sustain it. They're playing a hell of a lot better than the Rangers are right now.
And again, I'll say it before in the beginning of the year. I said to you, Brian Elliott was a stopgap. And he is to a point. He still is to a point because they signed him for a 2-year deal. But you know what? I kind of thought it was going to be a goaltending issue this year, but to his credit, he's been fine. He's been solid in there.
That wasn't why they were losing.
No. They were just their defense is all shuffled around. And Hextall has a point when he said that they're the youngest defense in the league, the youngest pairings. They really have to get used to each other, and they're starting to get used to each other. And I think it's paying off. Again, if they don't win a playoff series, I don't know. Again, as a Flyers fan, I want to see them move forward. And it looked like they're playing a little bit better when they shuffle the lines around. That's a good thing.
Daniel said the only thing we disagree on is that they played great against the top teams. Well, really, not that long ago. I think it was at the turn of the year. Mm-hmm. You know, they had lost to Florida. They beat Tampa, and they got destroyed by. I mean, like they were just so Jekyll and Hyde. I think they're playing well right now. They played well last year for stretches, so it is.
Then they lost to the Sabres.
Yeah.
So it was Florida, Tampa. Florida they lost. Tampa they won, and then the Sabres they got beat 4-1.
So the Rangers.
They look good. Talk about tailspin. Uh-oh. He's taking it off, folks. That doesn't happen often.
Where do we start?
Oh, God.
Where do we start with the New York Rangers?
For a rant?
No, we do.
I feel a rant coming.
We do.
Oh, God. Should I go take a smoke?
Nah, you're fine.
All right.
Rangers look god-awful.
Mm-hmm. They're actually being nice.
The only win they've had recently that I can recall was over the Flyers, and I think they had a good game.
Last night was he asking by the Kings?
The Ducks. No, you're thinking the other night.
Oh, the other night was the Kings.
No, they're out on the West Coast trip, and
that's dreadful right now. Yeah.
They look god awful right now.
They need to come home. That's what they
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, and I don't know about that either. I think we're at the point right now with the Rangers where they are better off losing. And I hate to say that for a team that has Lundqvist, because I know Lundqvist in the twilight of his career. And I know that he doesn't have a lot of chances left. But this team, as currently constituted, you lost Chris Kreider to injury. You don't know when he's coming back. Shattenkirk's out at least a couple of weeks with this meniscus thing. Yeah. And I got to tell you something.
That's been killing you.
Here's what pisses me off about that.
Oh, God.
Right? You go back and you see what Vigneault's been talking about. Oh, I need to see more from Shattenkirk.
You love Vigneault, don't you?
I don't love Vigneault. We're getting to that one, too. So, Vigneault knows that Shattenkirk got a cortisone shot in his knee to take care of this meniscus thing. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting there talking bad about this guy who you're paying $600 million a year, the best offensive defense that you have. Mm-hmm. Oh, we need to see more. What kind of asshole are you?
Yeah.
No, seriously. Yeah, you know what you're working with.
That's kind of screwed up. Yeah,
so it says a lot about their mindset. Mm-hmm. You know, that they go in there and you know, guys that play terrible, game in and game out. Mm-hmm. Nick Holden led the team in even strength ice time a couple games ago. Mm-hmm. What is going on? The coach has to go. A lot of their problems, well, I will admit the roster has some holes, especially now with the injuries. A lot of their problems, it's coaching. Mm-hmm. It's the lineup decisions. It's the lines that they play. JT Miller was benched in the game against the Ducks. He's like, oh, I think I've seen enough. I've seen enough of you, Alain Vigneault. I think you got to go. And at this point, you look at a guy like Rick Nash. Rick Nash, end of the year is a UFA. Mm-hmm. Michael Grabner, end of the year is a UFA. A name that might be traded, maybe not now, sometime this summer, the captain, Ryan McDonough. Mm-hmm. A year away from free agency. It's going to cost a lot of money. You know, coaching. They're the you know what, Dan? As consistent as Belichick is, Vigneault sucks. Okay, and that's a great parallel. If I'm them, I'm selling. I didn't ask you about the Flyers, but if I'm the Rangers, I'm selling. I don't want them to be in a spot where they think it is in their best interest to make some sort of short-term move to get into the playoffs. Because if they get into that second wild card, they will be swept by Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Swept!
How about those Avalanche, too? They're rolling along, too.
They beat the Rangers.
Yeah.
Everybody beats the Rangers. Yeah. That's whatever.
Hey!
Dan, they need to keep their picks. You're dead on right, but I will say this. They've done a real nice job in a little bit of a on-the-fly rebuild with the trades in the offseason. But there's a rumor of McDonough up to Toronto for William Nylander. Sign me up twice. Sign me up twice.
Actually, there was a deal on the table, and I heard that Carey Price was offered to St. Louis.
How about that? Because they don't know.
And they offered, St. Louis offered Allen, and they said, no, we want Hutton, and then they backed out of it. So, that's I would have did that in a heartbeat. Carey Price, I think, needs to change scenery.
So, Brian Hess, I'm going to ask you this question. Flyers trade a young defenseman too for a stud forward. Let me ask you a question. So, I'm telling you right now,
right,
as big as a Rangers fan is, lose, baby, lose. Sell, sell, sell. Jim Cramer on Mad Money. Sell, sell, sell.
Mm-hmm.
I want Nash gone. I want Grabner gone. I will trade McDonough if you give me the right price.
Nash doesn't have a big value.
He does. No. These guys at the deadlines, the prices are immense. What these guys get. You add Rick Nash
to a team that's looking.
Even if you retain some of the money, who cares at this point?
Yeah.
They will get a first-round pick and then
maybe
some
to
for
go to
Rick
a team
Nash.
that's on the cusp. Maybe
Absolutely,
you get a guy veteran leadership.
You put Rick Nash on a team's third line, for the love of God, that's a great move for a team that's in contention. Yeah. It is. So, I'll ask you, Flyers position again. They hold a playoff spot right now. Would you buy? Would you, if you're the Flyers, take some of these assets that you have?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I would, because like you said, I don't think they're ready to make a run. If they were really storming up the charts this year consistently, and they were in the top 4 the whole year, or top 3 in the whole year, then I'd say maybe you make a move to do something. But in the same sense, I like you said, I can't. You've won 8 out of 10 games or 9 out of 10 games now. Okay, big deal. I like to do it. You're still a young team. You still want to keep stuff for the future. So,
Joe Gonzalez called me a fraudulent.
Well, you are.
No, but I got to tell you, you know what? Joe. One thing I will say is, you got to know what's in the best interest of your team, and the goal is to win a championship. And anything that's not going to help you do that is not in the best interest of your team.
Joe, don't let him kid you. When he goes to Rangers games, in the background, it's all photoshopped. It's not. Yeah. He's at his house really. He's talking
sure.
there. So
you seen my house lately?
Yeah. Well, it could be the Ranger room.
I got to tell you, that is what they need to do, and it's painful. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. The Rangers from 2012 to 2015 were the Buffalo Bills of the NHL.
Yeah.
Because they had every opportunity to win a Stanley Cup. They were, I look back at 14, 15, and it's just like, it breaks my heart for the missed opportunities. Mm-hmm. But that ship has sailed. It is not the same team anymore. There's a statistic, and I was sharing this on Outside the Box with Mickey Torres. Mm-hmm. All they do is give up 35 or more shots a game. You look at the Rangers getting scored on 4 or 5 goals a game. That's not on Lundqvist, guys. They're hanging him out to dry. He's had a great year. For a 35-year-old, a great year. Especially. But they just can't defend.
I will give you credit on the beginning of the year. We talked about Vegas making the playoffs.
I said they made and you know what?
Let me tell you something. They're fucking tearing it up. Excuse my language. They are. James Neal's having a phenomenal year. And guess what? Subban might get Rookie of the Year.
I don't know.
He's playing great. Every time he's been look at his goal stats. He's playing phenomenal.
Jerry Lynn, Flyers need a whole new roster. See, that's where you're wrong.
I don't need a whole new roster.
They don't need a whole new
roster.
They actually are. I will give them a lot of credit. They have, if not the deepest system.
Hopefully Joe Gonzalez Flyers do need that goalie in the past decade. Supposedly Hart's looking real good.
Yeah,
so,
like I said, and I said this to you before.
And they haven't had a goalie since Hextall.
Well, he is the most important prospect.
Oh, without doubt.
Because if they can fix that, and they put their young defenseman in front of him, then fine. These forwards, and I'm not a Morgan Frost guy. He's proven me wrong. He's playing really well. I'll give him some credit. Blue Jackets gave Vegas a 30-goal scoring forward for nothing. Well, I got to tell you, a lot of the guys that Vegas has, I think, and we talk about this too, they went young.
Yeah.
And that was the right play. William Karlsson had a 20-something goal season. How about that? So I give them a lot of credit for sure. But, Dan says Nash to Vegas. I don't know.
I think they come to Philly soon in February, I think, which is exciting. I can't wait to see them.
They're a lot better. Actually, the statistic I have it in front.
Oh, they're phenomenal at home.
They're a lot better at home.
They've only lost, I think, 3 at home.
No, Vegas has the best home record in hockey. 19-2-2.
Yeah, they've only lost 2 games at home. That's crazy.
That is
20. What's that? 23 games? They've lost 2 friggin' home games. That's crazy.
Dude,
we're an expansion team.
Yeah, but people can't.
Oh, it's a different AHL.
Yeah. Now Jeremy Bland making this is important.
Yeah.
Jeremy Bland with a good hockey.
Or why not trade Giroux for younger players?
We said that.
I don't know. We did say that. I don't know how many younger players you'll get for Giroux, but you'll get something for Giroux. And I don't think Giroux.
Well, that's the thing.
Giroux and I don't think Simmons is going to be here for when they rebuild. And
I'm a broken record with this, and I apologize in advance. Yeah, because by the time they're really contending, and again, I don't think that they're there yet. Again, if they make the playoffs, more power to them. I think it's counterproductive. But yeah.
Bruins were dumb letting Subban go, thinking that no one would take him. Yeah.
Well, Dan, I'm glad you brought that up because now we're talking about Seattle as an expansion team. Here's the thing, though.
That's awful.
Look at, but from a Seattle fan base standpoint, right? They're going to be like, well, whoa, Vegas was really good to start. What's going on here? If it doesn't go quickly.
But they're an hour from Vancouver. How would you? The Canucks have been there for years. Why would you have a team an hour from Seattle?
That's hard. I remember you saying after the expansion of Vegas has one of the best expansion rosters ever.
They do.
They do, Brian, for a reason. Mm-hmm. It was set up that way.
Yeah.
It was set up that way for them to be a good team. Maybe not. I don't think anybody this good.
Right.
But they were the way the expansion draft was set up
with the players holding and stuff.
And they start trading first round picks. Don't take this guy, take that guy.
Yeah. Oh,
they held all the cards.
It was a frenzy.
They held all the cards.
Oh, yeah.
So more power to them. Do I think that they can sustain this? I don't know.
Joe said, "How about Mexico hockey team? As long as they don't drink the water, Joe, I think they'll be fine." Yeah, just don't
build the wall. I don't know.
Back to the wall again. Okay.
I guess the.
Attaboy. All right.
What else we got? So you don't think they should be buying, right? You think?
I think
would you sell?
I would sell.
Okay.
I would sell.
So look at you're a fraudulent fan.
I would. No, I'm not a fraudulent fan. I don't have season tickets. I wouldn't go nuts in selling. I would trade off some of maybe the veterans that you have and just go with the youth movement. If you're going to go that way, you might as well go all in and just go for the youth and just build this team for the future and just try to make a run in the next 1 or 2 years.
A lot of what I hear from my Flyers fan friends, and I'm blessed that I have smart Flyers fan friends. Really am. Why is Sanheim up and down? Why is he not playing? Why is he, 10 games scratched down in the AHL? They're yo-yoing, man. It's not good.
But he needs time right now to play, and he's not getting a lot of time up here right now. He needs to get some time. That's why they dropped him down. The whole point is that for him to get minor league time.
Then what in the blue hell was he up on the roster for 10 games?
That's
their fault. You're wasting time.
I agree. They should have brought him up because he's not getting a lot of time up here. And they want him to develop. They want him to become a better player. So just send him down right now. Give him all the playing time you have. And then maybe near the end of the year, you bring him back up again. Who knows?
Now Dan says you have to buy if you're Philly a defense or a third-line guy. Where I disagree with that is I don't know that makes a difference. Like, is that going to be the difference in winning a playoff series?
Look at Laterra. What's he done for you? He does nothing.
Well, but that was a
money grab, I guess.
No, Laterra, they basically bought a first-round pick. And I would do that.
They need to get rid of Laterra. But what are they going to do? They're not going to get anything for him. What did they get for Laterra?
That's
better off releasing him.
That's just numbers.
Right.
It's just money.
It was a guy that put in the package to fill the void. That's all.
It's
all it was. And that was a terrible trade, by the way. I mean,
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so because again,
Shen's finally having a great year. Maybe it's the guys he's with, but
Braden Shen is playing with Vladimir Tarasenko.
Yeah,
I don't even
that
want
helps.
to hear that.
That helps.
I don't want to hear that at all.
All right, don't yell at me.
Me yell? Stop.
I got him with that.
Stop.
All right, go ahead. Rumors Philly's going after Darvish. Yeah, that's not happening. They're not going.
What's the point of that?
They're not going after Darvish.
What is?
They're not ready for Darvish yet. Exactly. What are they going to do with him? It was like bringing Barry Bonds into a team that doesn't have anybody. I mean, let
me ask you a question. Why in the blue hell would you Darvish go to the Phillies when he probably has his pick of teams to go to for a lot of money?
And he's going to go for a lot of money. Yeah. And why would he go to the Phillies? He's not going to win now.
No.
So.
I mean,
that was a good update. So. All right, what else we got?
So,
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, so that's all I have on the docket right now. I guess one thing I definitely wanted to touch on, the Hall of Famers in baseball decided today. No Bonds, no Clemens. Surprise.
No, get out. Really? That's a stunner. And we said it before, they're not getting in.
They're not getting in.
They're not getting in.
They're not getting in.
People want to think every year might change. No, they're not getting in.
They're not getting in. Edgar Martinez was just 20 votes shy. It's a shame.
That's crap. He should be in.
That's real close.
Probably one of the best DHs of all time.
Chipper got in.
Yeah, Chipper gets in. Chipper gets in. Edgar Martinez doesn't.
Vlad Guerrero got in. Jim Thome in his first year eligibility. I mean, I think he's a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he's a first ballot, but good for him.
Yeah, I thought he
good for
was
him.
First ballot.
And Trevor Hoffman, the former closer from
Trevor Hoffman should be in
for the Padres.
I don't know about Chipper Jones. Chipper Jones is pretty close to me.
8-time All-Star.
Yeah, but to me, how does Edgar not get in? He better get in next year. I mean, that's a shame because the guy I think for a DH that he played a little in the infield when he was when he first started, and then he went to DH and he killed it at DH.
So some of the guys that just missed.
Yeah.
So Edgar Martinez was 20 votes short.
Yeah.
Mike Mussina. Now, my question for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Yankee fan.
Mm-hmm.
I like Mike Mussina. I don't think Moose is a Hall of Famer.
I think he's close, but I don't think
it's not the Hall of very good.
I don't think he's a Hall of Fame.
So he didn't get in.
You don't put a guy in there just to get in, is what it is.
Yeah, not when they have other guys. Basically.
Roger Clemens?
No. Clemens and Bonds both didn't get in. Schilling still not getting in. Manny Ramirez, I think, I don't know if it was his first year or not. We don't really know. No votes for Brad Lidge.
Really?
No votes for Brad.
Wow.
Not one. Not one vote for Brad Lidge. A couple of Yankees, 8 for Damon, 4 for Matsui. I don't know that they're, Sammy Sosa's not getting in.
No, none of those guys are. None of those guys are.
I know we're not here to talk about the past, but...
Yeah, they're not. Jeff Kemp probably, he's close, but he ain't in.
So,
all right.
Anything else?
No, I think we've covered the gamut pretty good. We've talked about the Rangers. We bitched about them pretty good. Everybody's,
I know you all missed me.
I did.
I know you all missed me.
I did, because the show was spiraling out of control. So, we were just going into a tailspin.
Well, I do bring a certain level of technological acumen to the show.
Well, then people just hate me. But
well,
that's fine.
Brian has Sixers. Brian has
We'll talk Sixers next time, Brian.
Is there anything going on with the Sixers?
We'll talk tomorrow on the wrestling show.
No. That's right. Tomorrow night, make sure wrestling fans live 8 p.m.
Can I tell Brian something?
Go ahead,
Brian. If you want to chime in earlier on the show, maybe we talk a little Sixers. But when you chime in like the last 10 minutes of the show, we're already mid NHL talking. We can't really slide Sixers in there.
We're not going to let any cats out of the bag. But
I do have my hand up. I do have my blind up. All right.
I'm not going to let any cats out of the bag here, but you may see a little more Sixers talk.
We may. On the show. We may, depending on who it is, but we may.
Daniel Bakely, the Rumble. That's right. Tomorrow night, Dan, 8 p.m. The debut show of Ringside Seat right here in the Sports Box. Myself, Anthony Morella, going to talk a lot of wrestling tomorrow night. So please, everybody, if you are a wrestling fan, make sure you're tuning in. It's going to be a good time.
Bring your Vaseline. Be lubed up for that, because that's going to be ugly. Anyway, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. We got the return of Brian, the Ranger Retard, back in the first bitch Ranger session. Loved it. Make sure you can always get us on social media if you need to.
Absolutely. We are on Twitter at Sportsbox Show. Facebook, you see us here tonight at Sportsbox Show. If you haven't yet liked us, please go ahead and join the group there. Make sure that you join Outside the Box, the official sports discussion group of the Sports Box. You can like Ringside Seat, has its own group. We are also on YouTube. You're going to see a lot more YouTube coming out of us, so make sure that you follow us and follow the channel on YouTube. But guys, we're everywhere.
So I want to go back to Joe Gonzalez. He said I asked an NBA question to Brian. What was your question?
What was his question?
I must have missed it.
You hold your thoughts,
no,
sir.
I
look back.
I didn't see it got ignored.
I'm looking back.
I don't.
Oh, actually, okay.
What did he say? Because you know nothing about the NBA. You know the general ball.
Listen, I am the first person to tell you, basketball is the most god-awful boring thing to me. I don't care, which is why we're going.
What was the question? I must have missed
the question. Are we discussing the NBA today? Because I don't understand the new All-Star game format. They say it's going to have team captains and do a draft. Right. If that's the case, then why waste their time on East and West starters and reserves? Although, hockey tried this.
They're right. They're biting off what the NHL tried to do. Exactly.
Hockey tried this.
Because they're trying to make the NHL games more watchable. They're not.
Joe, I'm sorry I missed your question.
And the NBA is just disgusting when it comes to an NBA All-Star game. There's no defense.
Didn't the 4 Warriors make it? They did, right? I think I saw that.
It's awful. The NBA game is awful. The All-Star game is absolutely terrible because all it is just throw the ball down court, throw the ball. Who could dunk? Who could throw the layups? Who could do the alley? It's terrible.
We will not be doing any sort of preview of the Pro Bowl. I don't care.
It's okay, guys. Not that serious. Sorry, Joe.
Joe, we are a viewer-driven enterprise. Yeah. We want to answer your question.
Make sure you're watching tomorrow night for the wrestling action. Briar's going to be all lubed up for that. Anthony, well, we'll get him lubed up. We'll get him something.
Ant's happy, right? You know Ant's
Ant will be happy.
Right now.
Yeah.
After the Eagles game, Ant is...
And great news, folks. It won't be me here, so I know you're excited about that. But anyway, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. And remember, at Sportsbox... Oh, hold on. Keep that thought. Have I ever keyed this up one time?
No. That's all right.
Speaking
of Eagles have Pro Bowl MVP Nick Foles.
Oh, my God. He ain't playing. He's not playing.
You know, listen, I'm not... This is... I've said on the show that I feel that the NFL is terrible.
You said that
a couple times.
Yes.
Nick Foles is playing in a Super Bowl.
Yep.
I mean, I got to tell you, does that or does that not make my case? I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm not taking a shot at the Eagles I'm just being honest with you. Nick Foles is in the Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean, how we got there is how we got there.
You know what else? This is the show that where the only opinion that matters is right here. Thanks for watching, folks. See ya.
Dance away, kid.
Welcome back, Brian.
Dance it out. I mean, mean, that's just vile. If you fall, I'm gonna laugh my ass off, I swear to God.
This episode of the Sports Box is brought to you by Mic'd Up Entertainment and DJ Mike Velarde. For all of your event planning needs, make sure you contact Mike at 609-864-5925 and tell him that you saw him on the Sports Box.
One, two, three.
Don't forget to subscribe.